What's up, QAA listeners?
The fun games have begun.
I found a way to connect to the internet. I'm sorry, boy. Welcome, listener, to Premium Chapter 219 of the QAnon Anonymous podcast, the Arizona Madness episode. As always, we are your hosts, Jake Rockatansky,
Haley from Arizona Right Wing Watch,
and Travis View. My journey into investigating QAnon over the years has taken me to Arizona more than any other state. Back in 2020, I went to see the protests at the Maricopa County Election Center as the election denial movement started to grow. I've attended a QAnon conference at a mega church in Arizona. I've attended a Marjorie Taylor Greene rally there. Jake and I attended a multi-day conspirituality conference. And recently I saw the Q Shaman host his big Get Out of Prison event at a church in Scottsdale. Now, Arizona is a land of uncommon beauty, many wonderful people, and a rich history, but it also has perhaps the most pilled population of any other state. Now, the brainworms don't just affect Arizona residents who are also QAnon promoters like the Q Shaman, Praying Medic, and Austin Steinbart. They also affect legislators and gubernatorial candidates. So I figured it was high time to get an update on the happenings of the most pilled state. And to do that, we are, of course, joined by Haley from Right Wing Watch. Thank you for helping us sort of walk through the craziness that has been, this past year or so.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. How have things been since we gathered on stage together for the Arizona live show, which feels like, I don't know, 3 lifetimes ago?
It does. It feels like a really long time ago. Things are good and normal. Mm-hmm.
Good. Sure.
How are you, Travis?
I'm doing well. I mean, yeah, it was, we also had that experience. You were there. You were also reporting on that mega church event, which had lots of Q people, and you got kicked out.
That's kind of how we met.
Yes, yeah. It was the first time we met, and they let me stay for some reasons. Very nice, but yeah.
Travis only makes new friends with people who are just on the cusp of getting kicked out of some sort of right-wing event. He's surrounded by a lot of people, who have been kicked out of various events, and I think it makes up a good portion of his inner circle.
Actually, the second time that we saw each other, you were getting harassed, and then it was the other way around.
Oh,
you were getting harassed by Jim Watkins.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. At the at the Trump rally in Arizona. I even forgot I attended that. I've been to Arizona so many times.
Kari mentioned that in her book, and she said that 50,000 people were at that rally. I thought that was pretty funny.
That doesn't seem right. That's like a medium-sized city. What the hell? That's not 50,000 people. No, that was not accurate.
I don't even think that many people fit in that stadium.
No.
It's like when they list statistics, and it's like in numbers in tens of thousands at the end, and it's like 10. It's like, well, 10,000. Tens of 10,000.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on in Arizona. Election directors are quitting due to harassment. A lawmaker named a committee after a QAnon slogan. They've tried to pass legislation based on that terrible Dinesh D'Souza documentary, 2000 Mules. The conspiracy theories have gotten so crazy that a legislator named Liz Harris was actually expelled for helping promote a wild conspiracy theory involving the Arizona governor, a Mexican cartel, and the Mormon Church.
Marry, fuck, or kill.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Of course, Arizona is the home of Kari Lake, a former TV news reporter turned super-pilled gubernatorial candidate. She's been busy trying, unsuccessfully, to overturn the election she lost, writing a book that includes a deranged kidnapping dream sequence, and inadvertently posting evidence of possible crimes her team may be involved in. But before we talk about Kari Lake and Liz Harris, I want to talk about the state of the Stop the Steal movement, because it is really, I feel like really Arizona has always been Stop the Steal, the center, the real leader in the nation, the place that shows everywhere else how it's done.
It's where democracy will finally die.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to be doomer.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people thought, the phrase democracy dies in the darkness, but actually it's democracy dies in the very bright, very hot Arizona sun.
Yep.
Ooh, democracy dies in the desert is another good one. You still keep the alliteration. I'll leave.
It's a dry fascism. Mm-hmm.
So Pinal County Elections Director Geraldine Roll abruptly quit her job in late June, citing county management's reluctance to stand up for her amid partisan personal attacks. This is despite the fact that Geraldine Roll is a Republican. So the county is looking for the fourth person to fill the position in less than a year. Roll said this in an email to Pinal County Manager Leo Liu.
In my career, I have never been subject to the ridicule, disrespect, intimidation, and attacks on my reputation and ethics that I have endured in these past months. I cannot work for an individual who does not support me. The environment fostered by your team and the Board of Supervisors is toxic.
So she was apparently a registered Republican until recently, but Roll told the publication Pinal Central by phone this.
I have never been so disrespected by the people in this party. I can't be associated with these people. They are nuts. They're irrational.
So it feels like this is really, again, sort of the maturing of Gamergate politics, where, is even if you personally don't have the power to oust someone, you can effectively shut them down and silence them by making their lives miserable, by logging on every day and harassing them.
Or sometimes going to their house.
Yeah.
Which seems to happen a lot here. It seems like they're kind of, their strategy is, I like that you said Gamergate them out of office, but that is kind of the strategy, to kind of harass normal people out of these election positions and then install the people that were a part of the Stop the Steal movement from the beginning.
Yeah. And it's brilliant because the most deranged, angry people, they seem to have a lot of time on their hands for some reason, and they use it miserably. And of course, the goal is to wait until someone as pilled as they are gets into the office, and then they can just stop because they're happy that they're, trying to derail, fair elections. Now, Haley, I was also hoping you could talk a bit about the very QAnon-pilled Arizona Senator Janae Shamp. She is so pilled, she once confessed to watching the QAnon show X22 Report every night, which is a lot. In fact, she chaired the Novel Coronavirus Southwestern Intergovernmental Committee, which is also called by the acronym NCSWIC, and that also happens to be an acronym for the QAnon phrase, "Nothing can stop what is coming." So real straight up, QAnon slogans in the Arizona Senate.
Yeah, they sponsored the event just with the acronym.
Yeah.
And it featured that Dr. Peter McAuliffe and a couple other...
Oh, the anti-vax doctor. Yeah. So what was the point of this committee? It was basically to hang everyone who thought COVID-19 was real and serious, right?
Yeah, it was a 2-day all-day event with Peter McAuliffe and similar kind of people who grifted during the COVID times,
Gotcha.
There was some 7-day Adventists a part of it. And then, the point of it was kind of just repeating the same bullshit about spike proteins and, every conspiracy you heard during the COVID times. But now also we have to prosecute all the politicians who were responsible for everything. That was kind of the theme. The theme. It's the same thing we've been hearing for 3 years. But to the backdrop of the nothing can stop what it, well, it wasn't that, but the acronym for nothing can stop what is coming. Janae Shamp is kind of interesting. She's newly elected. She was kind of just homies with Mark Fincham. That was kind of the only thing that everybody knew about her, if you know Mark Fincham, the cowboy who ran for Secretary of State here. Wannabe cowboy.
Right, Mark Fincham. He was part of that coalition that was affiliated with one of the JFK Juniors. He was trying to basically install Q-pilled people into Secretaries of State positions so they could derail elections.
So they're kind of like BFFs, Shamp and Fincham. Before she was elected, she was part of that group of people harassing the butterfly sanctuary down at the border.
My God. Yeah, but that's in Texas, right?
Yeah. They had another event where they kind of, they went down to the border. Yeah, it did go to Texas, actually. Yeah, she was part of that.
I mean, that's not a short drive. So they went out of their way to find someone to harass.
It was part of a bigger event. They were going to the border to pray and also, I don't know, talk about border-related topics. I think Tom Homan might have been at that one. And then Fincham was there, Champ, a few other people who have ran for office. But yeah, they just like prayed at the border, and then like on their way there, they went and like were harassing that butterfly sanctuary.
The people who do the most awful things have the funniest names. Like Fincham and Champ sound like two kids who would have played for like the Mighty Ducks team, in like the Disney film.
You should get a look at her too. You should Google her.
Oh no, she looked like a Mighty Duck.
She looks like a cowboy. It's like they're in a competition to see who could find the biggest 10-gallon hat, you know?
Oof, and we all know my feelings on big hats.
You have been listening to a sample of a premium episode of QAnon Anonymous.
We don't run any advertising on the show, and we'd like to keep it that way.
For $5 a month, you'll get access to this episode, a new one each week, and our entire library of premium episodes.
So head on over to patreon.com/QAnon Anonymous and subscribe.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I love you.
Jake loves you.